Hello farmers, and welcome back to Wyther Farms, where the pig pen is completely full of pigs. Overnight, just got about 15 piglets, so they're running around here. Not going to sell any pigs currently because, well, they're not worth as much as they can be, so going to let them fatten up before we go ahead and sell them back to the livestock market. Or maybe by then I may have something else for them, but we'll wait and see. I did take care of them this morning because, well, we went from 5 pigs to 5 pigs up to 20. So the feed trough, water, and straw was on kind of the low side. So I took care of that this morning. As for the manure, well, it's starting to slowly pile on up. So that'll help us out when we get our orchard going and getting some maybe apple trees, pear trees. We'll see what we put on down. But right now we got about only 2,000 liters. But now, with a lot more pigs in the pen, hopefully the manure will pile on up. But today we got some work to do. It seems like all at once, all the fields need to be worked on. Took a while for the ground temperature to come on up, but we are now warm enough. The grass field looks like it's kind of ready to be mowed, but it's not quite there yet. So that needs like another day. But while I was waiting, I took out my chainsaw and took care of the hedgerow that was here. Still got the stumps here, but I can get through nice and easy to the pig pen, ease of access, rather than having to go up by our little cabin there and around. So some future plans here, maybe later on this summer, after we get the Massey Ferguson butterfly mower set paid off, which I still got 100,000 pounds of pay on that. We're going to put down a bale shed here for straw for the pigs because, well, they need bedding. And also it could be used in the future for hay bales if I decide to put a sheep pasture down at some point as well. But one thing we may end up doing today after we get done seeding the fields, because that's priority number one, is put down a shed over here, because it seems like every time I need to grab something out of the only shed that we have is the thing that's always buried way in the back. So I think putting another shed down and getting some of this equipment moved around, and that way, ease of access would be kind of nice. I did go ahead and purchase a bucket for the skid steer. It cost me 4,000 pounds. You may remember I had some seed on the ground that accidentally spilled. But mainly the bucket is for the manure for the pigs to put around the orchard when we finally get to it. So that cost me 4,000 pounds and 7,000 pounds to lease this Estrella 32 Stara seed drill for the day. I'm just going to use it for today. We're going to be planting canola and wheat. I will need to lease a different, I need to lease a planter for the corn, but the ground temperature is not warm enough for corn as of yet. So that is priority number one today. So let's get started. I already got it full of some seed, and we are ready to go. Just don't run into my skid steer. Yeah, I filled up the seeder, and forgot about the seed I had in the shed. So I put those over there to kind of remind me I got extra seed over there. And yeah, we are ready to go. So I think what we're going to do is plant the canola first, and we're going to plant it in the first field that we purchased, and not the one right across the street. That's going to be for corn. Just slowly drive through here, make sure we don't clip on anything. Now this field here was nice to buy because now I can just zip right across. Don't have to go out to the main road. So this field here is going to be corn, all corn. And the field to our left here is going to be wheat and canola. Now I decide I'm going to plant the canola on the far end and wheat to the near end. The only reason for that is, if you look at this calendar schedule, wheat should be ready to be harvested before canola. But since I'm planting it on the same day, I got a funny feeling it's going to be ready on the same day. But we're going to put the canola down here. Now, I decided, and I came out and marked it the other day where the middle of the field was. And I kind of assumed it was like right here. So behind us, that's going to be wheat. And from here over is going to be canola. It's like halfway-ish. Now, the amount of canola I actually got in the silo seems to be enough for the pigs that we have. But we're going to go ahead and make sure we plant down some more. We are all set to go. All the food all the crop we're putting on down is for feed. So we'll probably end up selling some of it when the time is right. Let's go ahead and back this on up here. I am going to leave a little bit of space in between the two crop types. So some of the field won't be used at all, but that's all fine and good. Go ahead and put this down, and we should be planting canola. Looks like we are, and we're kind of all set here. Now I'm not putting fertilizer down with the crop because we're going to spread the fertilizer on the fields afterwards. because we do have precision farming going for us, and each crop type is going to take a different amount of fertilizer. So we'll do it afterwards. Yeah, this is going to be nice and good. I can't wait to actually get harvesting the corn, which is a ways off for us, only because that is the main food for pigs, really. I could buy some pig food at the store, but I think our pigs will be fine for about another 4 or 5 months before harvest time. They'll be all good. But now with 20 pigs in there, hopefully we can start piling up the manure. And I think we may just start with 4 trees for a little bit of an orchard, but I don't want to do the orchard until I get the grass cut, which would be really, really nice in about 3 days time-ish, because I expect to be able to cut the grass tomorrow, and then of course we got to wait a couple days for the grass to ferment into silage, and then bring it on over to the BGA, and of course then the BGA, we usually get about 80,000 pounds, and with that, I might be able to pay off the rest of the $100,000 loan I have on this tractor, and then I can really start piling up some money for next season, so I can go ahead and buy myself maybe a drill slash planter, or maybe expand the farm by buying more fields. But mainly this year is paying off the 100,000 pound loan, and also expanding the farm with some buildings, some sheds. But we're going to be getting ourselves a shed later on this afternoon. We're getting ourselves a nice little kit. It's about 20,000 pounds, so not too expensive. But it'll be good enough to get like maybe the animal trailer, maybe the trailer for the grain trailer parked over there, and a couple of other things, just to move some stuff around. That way I have more ease of access to the equipment that we currently have. But I am eyeing up the fields behind the cabin that we have. But those fields are kind of, I don't want to say on the expensive side, but they are not cheap. I think it's like £250,000 for those fields there, give or take a few thousand either way. So rather expensive. But we'll see how it goes. But if I do end up getting an orchard, I'm going to have to get ourselves a water tanker, because then I have no way. I'm going to have to make sure the trees are nice and watered and got manure. The manure we're working on, so yeah, I was going to buy a water tanker for the pigs, but we were lucky enough to be able to hook up to the town water and fill up their trough that way. I do like this drill that I'm currently leasing today. The small issue being is going up and down the roads. It's a rather tight squeeze. But with the fields I'm purchasing, I guess it wouldn't matter, because I'm not really going up and down the roads hardly at all. I'm barely just crossing the road there. And if I buy the field behind the cabin, well, then I'm not really going on the road there either. But if I were to do contracts for someone else, I want to use my own equipment, then going up and down the road, this is kind of troublesome to go up and down the road with this. It kind of takes up like 3/4 of the road. So to have to like almost have someone halt traffic for me. But that's just distant problems if I ever get that far. So I'm kind of hoping tomorrow, first thing I'll do is, if the grass is ready, we'll get the grass cut, baled, and of course wrapped, so the fermenting process starts, and then I can go ahead and get the corn planted as well. I will have to lease a corn header or buy a corn header when harvest time comes. I don't have a header to cut the corn. Probably for the first season, be better just go ahead and lease it, because I'm pretty sure it won't be too expensive, and it won't take me too long to get that field done in a matter of an hour or so. For this field that I'm currently in, I remember, seems like a long time ago when I bought this field, and I couldn't believe this field only cost 80,000 pounds for how big it is. It was a steal. And it's definitely helped us build up our farm where it is by selling all the straw that we get off the field, because we've been putting down cereal crop every year. So it's helped us out quite a bit. And able to get this Massey Ferguson last year, that's helped out quite a bit as well. Every little thing that we're doing now is starting to pay off more and more. So it shouldn't take us too long to go ahead and get the rest of this field planted with canola. And then switch it on over and we'll start planting some more wheat on the other side of the field. And then we'll just have to fertilize it whenever we get a moment. But I think after I get the fields planted and return this drill, I'm going to go back to the farm and we're going to build ourselves a shed and start moving some stuff around and kind of making the farm just look a little bit more organized. Kind of hoping I can finish the rest of this field with a seed that I currently have. I think I should be able to. I won't know until I'm done. But then our wheat / canola field will be ready. And we'll see it again probably in a day or so when I go ahead and fertilize it. I think I'll let it germinate before I go ahead and fertilize it. So that could take, yeah, maybe a day or so. Depending on what the air temperature does, I think. And hopefully it germinates rather well. Hopefully it doesn't get too cold tonight, but I think we're okay. Seeing that we're already in mid-April. At least the weather's holding out nicely today. Yeah, late last fall through winter and even early spring, we got a lot of precipitation down on the ground. But luckily the field is dry enough to go ahead and plant today. Get the crop in. The corn is what I'm really looking forward to because that way we can get our pigs a little bit more healthier. Right now they're hovering health-wise right around 50-60% at best. They definitely need that corn. I think I left enough space between the two crop types here. So when I go to harvest it, the combine doesn't get confused what crop it's trying to harvest. I mean, I should be plenty of room, actually. Yeah, one more strip, and I think I am all set on not having to go back and refill with some seed. But I will empty the seed out at the farm and return this drill. Definitely when I go ahead and buy myself a drill for the farm, definitely going to get one that will can direct drill. That way I don't have to cultivate a field beforehand. This saves the whole process of having to go through. They're a little bit more expensive for those type of drills, but overall I think it's definitely worth it. And this one here seems to be the right working width for what we have. Let's go ahead and fold that on up. And we are all set planting wheat and canola for the year. At least I think we are anyways. Now this field right here will be all corn maybe in a day or so. But that requires a planter. Yeah, it's nice having this field to shoot straight across the road. Not holding up traffic at all. And not even going to be a full pallet, but we'll go ahead and unload this right here. Alright, so it popped it way over there. Alright, I'm going to return this drill. Come on back, we're going to put down a shed. I'm not sure if I want to put it there, over there. I'll have to think about it. Well, running around the farm here for like the past 5 minutes or so, trying to figure out, I keep saying there's a nice spot, there's a decent spot, but then I start thinking for the future plans, yeah. So I think I've decided to put it on actually over here, kind of next to where this old trailer is. I gotta leave myself some space over here because every time I come in with a trailer to load up something, I gotta make sure I give myself enough room to turn around. So we're gonna go ahead and build it over here. I think we're gonna be fine. Let me back up so I'm not in the way. Let's go into here, and of course we gotta go to sheds, and we're scrolling, and we're going with this one right here. Kind of a white color. And we're over here apparently, so let's get ourselves situated here. And let's see which way. Alright, so there, that's going to face the front. So it should be like that. Let's see if I can get myself lined up here with our hedgerow if I can. That should be pretty close right there. And just put it on down. And this will definitely free up the other shed and make it more organized around here. Nice and clean and perfect for what we need. Alright, so let's see. What do I want to put in there exactly? So I'm actually thinking I'm going to put the animal trailer in here. And I can bury the animal trailer because it's something I'm not going to use as often as everything else. So for starters, let's see. I've been using the Massey Ferguson today. Let's go ahead and we'll use a T8 to shuttle some things around here. And I'm going to start with the grain trailer. Same thing with the combine. I can probably leave the combine in the bigger shed because we use that for like maybe 1-2 days out of the year. So I can go ahead and just leave that buried. So it still leaves us with 55,000 pounds in the bank account. I'm not going to pay off any part of that Massey Ferguson loan until we sell that silage in about 3 days' time. Got to make sure I got myself some cash for everything that we need to be doing. It's probably far enough back. I say it's almost perfect. Drop that off there. I can even park my tractors in there if I want. But I think the next thing I'm going to put in there is probably the... Yeah, let's go ahead and grab the baling trailer. And we'll put that in there as well. I mean, I could really squeeze things in here, probably get a couple things, one more thing parked in this side, but I think for now, we're going to have plenty of room for what we're doing. So let me grab the baler. Yeah, we'll park the baler over there also. And probably be the last thing I park over here for now for equipment. I may park the T8 over here. Let's see, if I do it just like this, it'll be probably fine. I could actually maybe even park the Massey Ferguson in front of that, but I mean, that cleared out that shed really, really nicely here. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is move the fertilizer spreader. And I'll park the animal trailer where that is. Actually, you know what? What I'll probably do is put the fertilizer spreader on the front of the Massey Ferguson for now. Alright, hitch that on up. Now we can go ahead and park this, like I said, way in the back. It's something I'm not going to use that often. Alright, there is that. You know what? I'm just going to leave the Massey Ferguson kind of like right there with that on there, because I'll have to fertilize those fields probably first thing tomorrow. Let's see, the manure bucket. Let's see where... I mean, I could actually put that over there. For now, I think I'll just go ahead and just park it. Right here's a nice little spot for it. Now we can grab our bale shredder. And get this out of the elements as well. And that's good there. And actually, I probably should park... I think I'll park the skid steer in front of the baler or next to it. Yeah, I can probably squeeze this in actually between the baler and the baling trailer. Give myself a little bit of room there. That looks a little bit better organized. And talking about freeing up the big the big shed over here, that definitely gives us plenty of room. Although the header, yeah, that's something I'm not going to be good at backing up in. That's something I'm probably going to need like a drive-through shed in order for me to park that somewhere. But maybe later in the year we'll have another shed put down because we might actually have more equipment. But boy, that definitely opens up a lot of space in here. And it doesn't seem clustered. I can get to things rather easily. I do like how that is looking. Very, very nice. Yeah, so probably later on before we get to the wheat harvest, so sometime maybe around August, probably somewhere around there, we'll go ahead and build a bale shed over here. They're not that expensive, so we'll throw one down generally over here. But I'm going to go ahead and wait in that because it's nothing that we need right now. Pigs are doing rather nicely over here. Hopefully they beef on up. And hopefully we can get ourselves a good amount of manure. I'm thinking we're just going to head after we cut the grass and make some silage bales. We'll go ahead and put down maybe just 4 trees to get started. And then I'm thinking just apple trees to start off with. Something very simple to put on down. Although I will have to get myself a water tanker to go ahead and give the trees some water. So yeah, I'm going to have to go back and investigate exactly where to get some water. I cannot get it from the fill point here. The only rights we have for this fill point here is to give the animals water, which is very little that they require. The amount of water the tanker is going to hold, probably going to have to get ourselves a right over by the pond. And that was probably, I can get there through the field we just planted in today. But have to work on that a little bit. Double check on that. Have to wait and see, but first things first. Definitely want to go ahead and make those silage bales, sell those in 3 days' time. Pay off the Massey Ferguson loan maybe all the way. Like I said, I only got to pay 50,000 pounds off per year. And last year, the first year, I paid off 150,000 pounds. So, but, you know, it's a new year. I got to at least pay 50,000 pounds of that off. Should have no problem with that with the silage bales in a couple days. And maybe keep the rest and buy stuff. We'll see how it goes. But, I mean, that loan will be paid off this year. No problem. Yeah, these fields right over here, I've been looking at buying these. I think the farm owner wants to sell this lot here. He owns both of them, that lot and this lot. They go together. That would be rather nice. Look at the size of the fields that we could possibly have. I've done work in these fields. He's paid me to work in these fields. What's he got planted? He got barley planted here. I don't know how much was he asking for that field right there. Yeah, $250,000. So that might be out of my reach for this year, but it would be nice to get this field right here. It's a nice set of barley. This is this oilseed radish over here, right? That he's planted. Yeah, he just keeps planting oilseed radish over here. Not too sure why, but you know, it's his farmland. He can do what he wants with it, just like we're going to do what we want with ours over here. But anyways, now I got the rest of the day to kind of sort of relax. I'm going to probably do a little bit more financial thinking in my head. But I'm liking the way that the new shed's looking over here. It's out of the way. I got plenty of room to turn around here. And now everything's not buried. Everything's starting to look a little bit more organized here. Anyways, I'm going to go sit in the cabin for a while. Maybe have a cup of tea. And enjoy the rest of my day.